Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Small Biz Highlight. If you don't know who I am, my name is Tiffany Roman and I am your host. So let's start this show off by letting you know that it's sponsored by the Small Biz Highlight app, which, if you missed it, I went live on our anniversary last week on the 20th to announce that we have launched our very own community on the app where small businesses can network together, build together, grow together. It's epic. I cannot wait to tell you more about it as it grows and give you more details about how you can sign up. It's coming. I promise. I promise. But for now, you can check it out on the app if you're interested. We are live with StreamYard. So if you are joining us live through Facebook, you can help us out so that we know who you are, your name, your Facebook profile picture, just in case you have a question and we put it on the screen, then we know who's talking to us. But it's simple. You just go to streamyard.com/Facebook and it allows them to talk to each other, basically. Super quick and easy. I promise. All right. So this is the year that I have been proclaiming 2020 you. No matter where you are in your life, I have been proclaiming that this year is the year that I'm going to learn how to accept more of myself, love myself some more, and have more faith in myself. And I have been selfishly using every single one of you as my accountability partner in the process. So if you feel compelled to join in the journey, I welcome you with open arms. And honestly, you don't need to use me as an accountability partner. Feel free to, make it a family thing, make it something you do with your friends. But believe me, the journey is hard sometimes, but it is very rewarding. So try it out for a little bit. You never know what happened. I wanted to take a second to remind you that there is an app for Small Biz Highlight. It's available on Google Play and Apple App Stores, like I mentioned earlier. And a huge thank you to our sponsors, Text for More. They make it super easy to find all the information you need to catch us live. So if you text Small Biz to 717-670-6400, it actually gives you a link to our main hub, which is also accessible through our mobile app. But then it lists every single link to whatever platform you want to catch us on for each episode. So no excuses, guys. You're gonna find us. All right. So tonight I have two amazing guests lined up. And first, I have another friend of mine that I met through my networking days in La Tip. She is Maria Diaz, and I'm gonna bring her on as long as my communications here work. Let's see. There she is. Hello. How are you?
Good, Tiffany. How are you?
Oh, I am so excited to have you here. Thank you so much for taking the time to be on the show.
Absolutely. Glad to help.
All right. So I always start the show with a very simple question, but sometimes it trips people up, honestly, and it's pretty fun. So, Maria, who are you?
Who am I? I am a born and raised Jersey girl. I am first generation American. I am a business owner, and I'm just somebody who loves to put in the work and knows that the energy that you put out in the universe, you get back.
Wow. Okay. And you're not too far from me. I'm in Pennsylvania, so we're East Coast girls.
There you go.
That's always great. I always tend to forget in the email sometimes to put what time zone I'm in because I just take for granted that everybody should know I'm in Eastern for some reason.
It's the time zone to be in, so
Yeah, I can't deny that. But one of these days I'll get in better habit of it. But I want to thank you again for being here. Thank you so much for that brief introduction into who you are. And as far as what you do, your business is called Order and Ease. Now, as pretty self-explanatory as that name is, there is a lot to it, guys. Bear with us here, all right? She does a lot, and I love it. So, give us a brief overview exactly what is Order and Ease all about.
Absolutely. So Order and Ease began as a professional organizing company. We help bring people from chaos to calm, whether that's within their spaces, their homes, their offices, that kind of thing. We help you let go of the things that no longer serve you, help you live a more efficient life, more organized, and just make the space for your life, really. So that is what I do that way. And then we're also a virtual assisting company, which I'm sure you'll hear more about in a few minutes, right, Tiffany?
Yes. So I think it's really cool that you are organizing people on both spectrums, in person and virtual. Like you're covering all bases there. And I think that I personally feel like I'm more organized virtually than I am personally in person. Do you find that that might be a little typical, or am I just weird?
No, I think that, in terms of the virtual assisting, for me, I help small business owners with their administrative tasks and getting themselves organized that way so they're not stuck in the weeds and they can work on their business.
Hmm.
So it's almost the same toolkit, really, just helping people, get those things in order, get rid of that chaos that they might have around them. Your brain, even though you think you're not focusing on this, you're trying to focus on whatever work is in front of you, it's looking at whatever clutter might be around your space and is working on it anyway. So you want to make sure that all that's kind of out of the way physically so you can focus on what's in front of you work wise. And then in terms of the virtual assisting world, that's where I help you get organized more on your administrative side. So that
Yeah.
was born out of COVID, actually. So
Yes, I know. I've heard your stories when we would do the lunch bunch and all of that on Litip. And it's always great to hear stories like that on here, to kind of give people a better idea of what exactly people were doing with themselves during the shutdowns.
yeah.
So tell us a little bit more about how exactly Order and Ease came to be.
So although the company itself started in 2017, I had been working as a professional organizer, going into spaces, helping people with their homes. My background, however, is administrative. It's in project management. I worked for pharmaceutical meetings and events and things like that. So I always had the like herding cats toolkit going. And when COVID hit, I really wasn't going into anyone's homes anymore. I wasn't able to organize people that way. And although over the years people were still calling me back to do project management, to help them with their events, to help them with those administrative tasks, I never offered it as an official offering for Order and Ease. And then COVID hit, and here I was going, well, what am I going to do with my business? And I was like, okay, let's see what we can do in terms of adding those kinds of services that I was doing anyway, and make it an official part of the business. So Order and Ease evolved, and we began to offer virtual assisting and project management and things like that, and
Hmm.
helping small business owners across the country, really. And I mean, I network a lot, as you know,
Yeah.
um, but that's really what helped me to keep the business going. And I had to pivot. I know that's a word that was so popular, but it's something that really it helped my business keep growing. And then eventually, when things started picking up again, I'm back to organizing. I'm back to helping people organize their lives. However, I've
Agree.
kept the services of virtual assisting as well, and I have people that I've added onto the team, and we're just going to keep going with it, and have two pillars of the business.
Organizing is not typically something that everybody enjoys to do. So the fact that you do it for your job means that you have to really enjoy doing it.
Since
But
I was
I'm
a
sure it can be
girl,
stressful at times.
it can be, and it's a very emotional process for a lot of people.
Mm.
But it's something that, I mean, since I was a child, my parents would leave me, to go do food shopping or whatever they had to do, and they'd come back to alphabetized cabinets or rearranged furniture, or, I come up with different games and things of how to clean the house and things like that. I mean, I guess my mother was lucky, some people might say, or in her mind, she would come and be like, "Where is everything?" I'm like, "Mom, it's alphabetized. Hello." She wasn't always very appreciative.
So it's all mom's fault, is what you're saying.
No, you know what though? I think it was also growing up in a Latino
Oh
household.
gosh, yes.
you had to have everything in order. You had to be organized. You had to make sure all your schoolwork was done. School was like really important. So it was like making sure that all my homework was done, all that. It just fed into that lifestyle, I think, for me. So.
Oh gosh, yeah, I can speak to that for sure because, well, it didn't rub off on me. My family will gladly tell you that openly. But my grandmother and my mom, there was no joke. The house had to be a certain way with everything in its place. And my mom could easily be one of those that walks around with like a white glove and just wipe. Or you could bump a photo frame just like half a centimeter and she would notice from across
Yeah.
the room. And it's like, "Oh, you gotta be kidding me."
Hey,
But
we
it's
had the
definitely a great trait to have because it's something a lot of people struggle with. And, when they finally get the courage to say, "I need help," then there's people like you to help them through it.
And you know, the other thing is, unfortunately, both my parents have passed, and
Aw.
my mother was in a very severe car accident, and for her, I was her caregiver for a long time
Oh,
before
wow.
that, and my father had passed on before that. So I have that in my background as well, unfortunately. But I know what it's like to have to deal with grief and have to deal with letting go. And I get a lot of those phone calls too, where people call me and they're like, I don't know what to do with these things, or I'm we're looking at downsizing, or I'm taking care of my parents, and now I've inherited all their things. What do I do with it all? So I understand that world, and these are all things that happen in life that help you later on, and you don't even realize how they're going to play into what you do. So.
Oh, yeah. I know, personally, when after I had my second child, I struggled really hard with, postpartum depression,
Mm,
and the one thing that was a huge trigger for me, although I am self-proclaimed not the cleanest person in the world, I do like order to an extent with things, and the moment the house would get the littlest out of order or dirty, I would just, like, get so overwhelmed with the idea that, "Oh, no, I gotta clean again." And, I don't know, it just was a huge trigger for me. I couldn't even understand people who, struggle with, like, hoarding or, just, like, keeping inability to just let go of things. Ooh, I could not even imagine how stressful that would be for someone.
yeah. I guess it happens in layers with people, and I work through that with them, and in terms of the things they can let go, or just that they just need some help. They need some hand holding. So I do what I can, and I'm happy to help them.
Wow. So if someone is looking to link up with you and work with you, how does that process usually start out? What's the
They
first
can
step?
either reach me through email, or I usually try to set up a call with them. So either they call me or they email me, and then we just set up a call so we can just talk about what it is that they need, what their goals are, and then how we can help them. And we basically start from there. Sometimes they call me because they need a closet rehaul, or their basement, attic, garage needs some help. So anything from a closet to a full house, and we help you do what you need. So email me, call me. I know that you had put my information out there, so
I
um,
did.
that you can also email me, info@orderandease.com, or go to our website and you can reach all my social media platforms there.
Yes, I try to make it super easy for anybody to contact my guests. So I throw it
Love
in
it.
your face. I have it in the description of the video. I have it's scrolling on the bottom of the screen everywhere while we're
Sure.
talking. So yes,
Awesome.
if at any time you have a question, please don't hesitate to reach out to Maria. She knows what she's doing. She knows what she's talking about and is, like I said, like she said a million times already, always willing to help.
Yeah.
So when somebody does decide to work with you, I'm assuming it's going to depend on how much organization they're going to need. But is there like a specific program that you have set up, or is it just like a week to week kind of basis? How does it work typically?
It really, like you said, it does depend. And for some people, it might be a session. I work in sessions, so it might be something like that, or it might go on a little bit longer. But again, it just depends on what their needs are, and it's different for every person. And I don't necessarily have a set way of doing things because everybody's different. It might unlock a different way for you to let go of things as opposed to someone else. So I really try to individualize what I do with the
Hmm.
clientele.
Okay. So I know you are helping people physically with their organization and whatnot, and you're also trying to alleviate the stress of small business owners with
Yeah.
their admin duties and whatnot, because it's stressful. As somebody who does it all by herself right now, I promise you, it's stressful. But
Mhm.
tell us a little bit more about exactly what you're doing on the virtual side of the house and exactly how that works for getting in touch with you and starting to work with you.
Oh gosh, same thing. I mean, luckily, it's easy to get in touch with me that way, and I sit and talk to you, and we work through what it is you need administratively. And we wear so many hats as business owners, and with COVID, with everything else going on, all those boundary lines disappeared. People were sitting there having their school in their home. They're living their life from day to
Yeah.
day. 9 to 5 disappeared. So, as business owners, it was, well, how do I manage this all too? And then, and keep going. So, overall this time, it also helped people understand that I could work virtually for them a lot easier. I think, it became more of the norm.
Good.
So, but, I work with you again on the projects that you're looking for, just so you can get out of the weeds and work on your business, not just in your business. So depending on whether that's customer service or project management or just help with research or anything like that, that's what we help you with. So
Huh. I've always wondered how it works for virtual assistants because are people hiring you like per hour or is it for like a certain amount of services for so much money a month or how does that typically work?
it's usually deliverables. So yes, it is like a certain amount, like they bank from some of them. I do have clients that have retainers and things like that. So it depends, or it's project based or hourly. So, but for the most part, it is on retainer. So they have a certain amount of hours they bank from, and we work on different projects that they have, um, and I'm able to deliver those projects back to them, and then they have their hours that they work out of. So
That just seems so much uh so easy. It sounds so easy to implement, but I'm sure it's also stressful in a way for small business owners to be like, "Okay, fine. I need help. Help me with this." After, doing it themselves or struggling with doing it
yeah.
themselves for so long, like they're giving you part of their baby to take care of. They're so used to being on top of it all and now they're just like, "Ugh, okay." So reluctant. They have to
Oh,
be, don't they?
it starts off small sometimes, and I say this, I'm like, you're going to find more and more things that you're going to be like, here, do this too, here, take care of that too. And it just grows. But sometimes it's just like, let's try this, and if we can manage this, we'll work on this next project, and we just kind of go from there. So
Wow. Your business is great. The things you do for people is just like I can imagine how good someone must feel when they come home after you've helped them organize their house and everything's in its place and cleaning the house is not something they have to worry about for a day
it's, you know what,
I
it
know that
actually
would be
saves you
amazing for
money.
me.
It saves you money. You have no idea
It
how many
does.
people buy things that they already have, that's already in their cabinets, or they can't find, or the
Yes.
amount of things that are lost in a year in the average household. I think it was 2011. The LA Times put out an article that the average American household has over 300,000 items in it. Okay,
What?
that was back in I think it was like 2011 or 27. I mean, I can't even imagine how much now. And look at the industry, the storage industry. That's a $30 billion industry, and everywhere
Yeah,
you look,
that's
another
crazy.
storage unit facility being built because people have too much stuff and not enough room for it. So the fact that you either can let go of the things that you no longer need, and you can live in a space that you love, as opposed to feeling like you have no room to do anything in your home, it does help. It helps.
And you might have mentioned this, but do you help, not just with organizing, but downgrading and consolidating and stuff like that
Yeah.
too?
A lot of times we get those phone calls. People are downsizing. They're just looking for a smaller space to live in, or sometimes they have to move to a smaller space. So we do help them to, again, just let go and figure out how they can live in those spaces like that. So, yeah.
Psh, wow.
We help people move. We help people pack. We help people unpack. We do stuff like that as well. Yeah.
God bless you. When I was on active duty in the military, I would get anxiety watching the people pack my stuff up. And then when they would drop the boxes off, hoping that everything's in one piece when I open them back up and stuff. But ooh, man, that is the time consuming job for sure. And ooh, wow. All right. Well, I am going to cut here for a quick break so I can show off a commercial from my sponsor, Text for More. When we come back, I'd really love to pick your brain for a couple pieces of advice for anybody who's looking to try to start organizing. If they
Absolutely.
or things that people can do on a daily basis to try and alleviate the stressors of
Got
organizing.
it.
So, with that, I will be right back.
Are you tired of missed business opportunities because you don't have the marketing tools that big companies do? Do you want to generate more sales with less effort or technical knowledge? Text for More is a digital marketing solution that is both your digital brochure and web presence that connects you directly to your customers. Best of all, Text for More is proven to deliver results. In fact, some of our clients have seen their monthly revenue increase by as much as 5 times in the first couple of months. To get started today, text the keyword MORE to 317-342-8114 and see how we can assist you. Text for More. Next generation brochures for the digital age.
All right, and we're back as promised. Have a couple of people commenting. Maria Diaz is great from Aixa,
Aisha.
Asia Lopez. I'm
It's
gonna
Aisha.
guess that's how that's said. And Steven, see, a lot of people love you, Maria. A lot of people love you.
Thank you. So I know you just asked for some tips and tricks on the people that are starting to organize. I know it's spring cleaning time, so people are like,
Yes.
get in the mood for that. One of the things I tell you is start somewhere that's less emotional for you. Start somewhere where it's easy to let go, even if that's one drawer in your house, even if it's your bathroom, your medicine cabinet. Sometimes for people, it's the refrigerator. It's things that have expiration dates. It's easier to let go of something if you don't feel guilty about letting go. So go through your medicine cabinet, go let go of the things that, all those medicines that are expired, all that Advil that, you weren't using, or makeup maybe. I know makeup can be a little tough though for some people to let go. I get it.
Especially when you're living on a budget. That little sliver in the corner is still good.
Still good, but it might not be. So just be sure, don't keep things for too long, especially if they're liquid. You don't want to, there's bacteria growing in there. So be sure to let those things go. But aside from that, things in your refrigerator, things with expiration dates, start there. That way that kind of kicks you off a little bit. It's easier to let go of. So I would say do that. And then also don't buy those totes and all those cute little things until after you've decluttered and let go, because you want to make sure that what you're buying is going to fit what you have left. So that's another
Ooh,
one.
yeah, I'm guilty of that. I'll just buy a whole bunch of them thinking it'll be useful, and then I have a bunch empty ones left over because I don't actually need them.
Yeah. So sometimes it's better to start there, let go of things first, and then move on to what you might need.
What do you think are typically the hardest things for people to siphon through to figure out what's going to go and what's going to stay?
Oh, the sentimental. Those are usually the hardest, whether it's baby clothes and your kids are now married and have kids of their own, and you're still holding on to those baby things sometimes, and it's very hard for parents to let go of. Or also on the other side of that, it's the people who are no longer in our lives anymore and we're still holding on to those things. I mean, sometimes it's you look at a note that, let's say your mother or father wrote and they passed, and you're like, God, my mom wrote me this note. I can't let this go. Sometimes it's as simple as something like that. But those tend to be the hardest things. Or when you've gotten a gift from somebody, that's the other thing.
Ooh.
Your Aunt Edna gave you this, 7 years ago. You've never used it, but God, what if she comes over and asks for it? Or what if,
what if she's looking for it to see where you put it? Yes.
Is that thing, yeah. So people get a little nervous about letting go of things like that too.
Oh, that has to be so hard. I know I'm guilty of holding on to a couple things. My grandfather passed away 2 years ago. So I have one of his pipes. I have a little pillow my mom made me with one of his shirts that I keep by the computer. because he actually died an hour before I went live for the first time for the show.
Oh.
So I have been in a way the show is like in testament to his support of me through the years of me just continuing on regardless. Love my grandpa. But yeah, gosh, now that you say like the little things, I mean, I haven't gotten there too bad with the kids' clothes, but I know of people. I know my mom has stuff of mine. It's like, Mom, why do you have that?
Yeah,
I'm
but to
old.
her, it's like such a cherished thing. And the thing
Yes.
is, I think it's finding ways to honor those memories and honor those people without necessarily holding on to all the things.
Yeah, I mean, there's great alternatives. I know, like in the military, we do like shadow box kind of things for our military medals and decorations and stuff like that. And I know people started doing them for baby stuff, like the little booties and the pictures and all that crazy stuff. So I could totally see something like that happening, where somebody does like different shadow boxes and hangs them on the wall. But I'm sure somebody could go really crazy with that idea too, and just have a whole bunch of shadow boxes everywhere. But I mean, it's okay to hold on to some things though, right? You don't have to actually get rid of everything.
No, you don't have to get rid of everything. And I do think you have to limit yourself, though, whether it's like a sentimental memory box or something like that, or just find a way to honor that person. Hold on to something that's the essence of that person to you. Something that, like for you,
Yeah.
that pipe, or something that when you look at it, you're like, okay, this is my grandfather. This reminds me a lot of him. And, you know, not every little thing.
Well, if you are just catching us, you missed a great opportunity to get to know my friend here, Maria. She is all about organizing and helping alleviate stress in more ways than one with her organizing business and with also her virtual assistant business. So she's not just helping you in the physical world, she's helping you in the digital world too, people. She's covering all bases here. No, but I want to thank you, Maria, for being here, for, letting us get to know you a little bit, and of course, giving us all that great advice at the end because it's stuff that should make sense, but it's not things that people think of immediately, like to do little things at a time, like the expired medication in the cabinets or whatever. Like I feel like those are the things people would leave for last because those are the last things people would actually think of.
Yeah.
So
It just helps kickstart things sometimes.
it does. It does. Oh, look, Steven. Steven, you're so nice. Look at this. Grandparents
Uh,
are awesome. They are
Absolutely.
wonderful.
Yes,
Thank you. I
Steven.
try. I try.
Oh,
I'm a work in progress, Steven, so I appreciate that. No, but yes, thank you, Maria. This was a lot of fun. And I look forward to so many great success stories, learning more about all the ways you've been able to help people. And maybe, we can catch up in a year or so and see where you are, how the business is going.
I like that. I'd like that. Maybe we could do it in person. I'll have to come to Pennsylvania. I got to do a little road.
What? That would be awesome. I do want to do more in-person ones. I'm trying to get there. So we'll have to schedule a date there. And then
Absolutely. I
see,
like that
ooh,
idea.
maybe you could come and like do like a tutorial kind of thing where you help me organize my office.
Oh, yeah. We could do a quick like desk organization.
Yes. And we
All
could
right.
do the magic of showbiz and just go click and then it's all done. Oh goodness. All right. Well, with that, I will leave you all for the moment. I do have an episode coming up next, so stay tuned. But thank you again, Maria. I hope you have a great night.
Thanks.
And I will also leave you all with your friendly reminder to put your community first. We do that by shopping small and supporting local businesses. Good night, everyone.
Bye.